So first scrolls are getting ready. Maybe we can get the multiplier on them. That would be really sweet. So nope, not from that beaver, but the second beaver is racing to make their scrolls. And how it's gonna be? It's going to be... No, not duplicated. I'm not actually sure how much of a chance we have to duplicate the production. But we got some choices for additional orders, so we can either aid the lizard clan or do a risky expedition. I'm thinking we will aid the lizard clan because, yeah, that 3 extra lizard resolve will be helping us in the long run. And another order that we can choose is between the risky expedition again, that we just did not take, or fulfilling the needs for clothes. But now the risky expedition is extra risky because they want us to discover 3 dangerous or forbidden glades. Now, if I take a look at who needs coats, then at least humans and beavers require them from our settlement. So I think let's try to go for the coats in the long run. Now, it is a bit of a gamble because it depends on us getting a building that's able to produce coats, but we have enough cornerstone choices to make to hopefully be able to get that building. So not too high of a risk. Or maybe the traders will be able to sell them to us. Now, how much time do we have remaining? So probably like 2 minutes before we have to start putting the scrolls here. Now, if you start the event, 1 random villager will be killed. Just one thing I'm thinking about is that maybe we just tear it down and not mess with it, because we will be losing villagers and we will be gaining potentially nothing because we don't want villagers to die, right? So we do have this bonus of having the scroll production, but we will store them for the next glade. So instead of doing what we initially planned, let's switch around. Who wants to go and do the event? You guys are all dealing with the wood stuff. So I will pick these 2 humans. Let's assign them here. And let's tear this down. Yeah. I know there were some potential hostility gains, but I just don't want to risk it. What we can consider though, since we are going to be completing this event now, is perhaps we can cut down the trees to the next dangerous glade. So one of the strategies I've read is to just try opening 1 dangerous or forbidden glade every year. It seems like somehow we are starting to go towards that direction. But what I will be doing this time is that the glade we will open up near the storm or at the beginning of next year, just to prevent the hit from the hostility. So you can see these 2 humans are taking this rather evil looking altar down. Don't have anything to put on this fertile soil yet, and we don't have any choices here. I'll keep the game running in the background, but let's just take a quick look at what we could potentially get from here. So you can see that tinctury would give us... Well, we actually have access to wine already, but the beer and the dye would be the new things. The provisioner would give us flour, barrels, and increase the pack of provision quality. And the smokehouse could give us... Well, jerkies... favored by the lizards. Pottery is useless for us in this map, or on this map specifically, and the incense is something that we could also consider grabbing here. So 2 out of 3 are good from the smokehouse. It's too soon to say, but if we take a look at the food stockpiles, then it is becoming an issue. So the good thing is that the fish will be coming in eventually, but just this 1 fisher is taking its time before all the charges are being trained, and only after that the fish will be transferred to the warehouse for eating. Now Altar of Decay is being worked on and will make it nicely before the threats trigger. The lizard's resolve is really low. That's unfortunate. But you see, we have already 40 scrolls for education. If we should get the building for education, then that will boost the resolve for at least the beavers quite heavily. Now, the orders, right? Clearly, lizard's resolve is not going to be a thing. Okay, I see we also already started the storm. So leave the orders for the time being. We are at hostility level 3, which is a bit too much. How are we with the wood stockpile? So I'm thinking we just stop working on the wood for the time being, which leads us to level 2 hostility. Is it going to be too much? Oh, we'll see. I would like to enable the pickled goods and boots again. And let's see how the resolve ends up being. Actually, while you guys are waiting for the storm to pass, you can do some fishing. Oh, the resolve is quite rough right now. But we're probably missing some other workers, aren't we? So if you can make planks, please do make them. And we will not be making packs of trade goods yet. But we will remove one lizard from the crude workstation because the planks are not going to be made there anymore. Beavers will be making all the planks, taking up way less wood than they would otherwise. The stone is not being cut, and I think these two humans can easily do that part. Now let's take a look at if there are any other vacancies anywhere. Can we get rid of this cache? No, we don't have free stone yet. Once more. So we don't have many workplaces free besides the woodcutter camp, one crude workstation spot. What are we missing in order to get this haunted cellar going? So scrolls would actually benefit us here as well. I think you lizard will be dealing with this one. Except that... no, it's not the time. Because we will be grabbing a bunch of resolve. 3 every 45 seconds if we start working on that. Sorry lizard, false advertisement. Let's keep you in the crude workstation then. I have nowhere else to put you. I didn't unassign them. Okay, so crude workstation it is. We still have one builder remaining who can perhaps build more shelters in preparation for new villagers coming in at the beginning of the next year. I know, I'll just build 2 just in case. We'll also be expanding the road network. In case somebody wants to walk further and wants to do it faster. I think let's put another road on this side. Oops. A little bit too much here. And of course, these roads need to be extended. Yeah, that's good for now. So, kind of low on resolve again, but what we will likely be doing is we will be using some sacrificing in order to get to the end of the storm. Yeah, so everybody is happy enough for the time being. Lovely. Okay, so we have 36 seconds of the second year storm remaining. We have shelters coming up. Wood is being sacrificed at an alarming rate, but we have enough to not lose anybody to this storm specifically. I can see that the lizard's resolve is being counted down for the clan, and I will be pushing them to be favored just because this allows us to complete one of the orders at any time. We might be running into too much impatience. Okay, lovely. So let's stop for a moment. We need to probably stop favoring lizards. Then again, they can be favored for a little bit longer. Now, regarding the consumption control, I'm going to be removing the pickled goods and boots again, because they help us tremendously during the storms. And let's take a look at the cornerstone option. So it's either the woodcutter song that we also picked the last game, and it will, for everybody who doesn't know yet, For every 20 felled trees, global resolve is increased by 3 for 120 seconds. Or far sight, meaning that each discovered small glade increases the working speed of scouts investigating glade events by 50% for 180 seconds. Now I'm a little bit struggling between the Woodcutter song or the 10 Amber, but I think let's try the Woodcutter song anyway, because yeah, 10 Amber, we can get some building blueprint or something like that, but it's also a risky choice again. So the newcomer should also be here. Let's pause for a second longer. So we get the choice between 1 beaver, lizard and human, or 3 beavers and 1 lizard. I think we will be going for the beaver lizard combo. And since they brought some codes, let me just check. Okay, codes are unchecked, so they will not be consumed at the wrong moment. Now, food. Food is something that will become a struggle. But remember our original plan. Let's see what's behind dangerous glade number 2. For that we need some beavers to work on the woodcutter camp. Also just making sure we do not sacrifice wood anymore. And for the second camp, I see that the beavers aren't really working much in the lumber mill. So we will play around a little bit worker placement. So how many beavers we have in total? We only have 5. So meaning that let's put the extra beaver here. So 1 beaver is doing something okay in the lumber mill. I'll leave that one there. But what else might be necessary is that these 2 extra slots will be filled with lizards. And yeah, I think we're happy with the other workstations for the time being. Although the haunted cellar is something we should also consider making, because pickled goods would be providing food for at least 2 types of citizens, so both the beavers and lizards would like them. And keep in mind, we do keep getting resolved, so we need at least 3 workers at the same time. You know what? We'll leave it there for the time being. Let's open up the glade and see what's behind it first. Kind of exciting always to open up the glade and hope for like some cool buildings like the termite nest that would give us infinite number or infinite supply of insects, for example. If we get lucky. I haven't seen that one actually in many games, just 2 I believe in total. Okay, so glade number 2 has a bunch of stone, which we will take gladly, but in addition to that we have again some fertile soil, medium abandoned cache, the tea house, lovely, and the forsaken crypt. Now if I remember correctly, when we don't do the forsaken crypt, then all the stored amber and wine will be lost, which is not the problem at all we have, so none of it at all. And 1 impatience point, but if we do resolve it, and we can potentially resolve it with just the blanks, then tearing it down or calming the spirits are the options. And yeah, we don't have any amber to actually calm the spirits. I think we will be tearing it down because there are no penalties and we will get some good resources out of it. Yeah, the chest of ancient tablets will give us some money if we want to. Okay, so thank you for opening up the glade. Now we need to figure out who goes to work on the glade event. I think we'll just remove these 2 lizards and they will be the ones doing it. So hello lizards, I know you just started cutting the trees, but we need you to tear down the threat instead. Yeah, it's like another fertile soil and we still don't have any buildings to build there. So plantation, small farm, those would be very useful at this moment of time. So lizards are still happy, but not as happy as they were before. But they're bringing us some, wow, 0.04% resolve per minute. That's not much. Okay, can we Okay, so the fish are coming along nicely, I believe. Let's check the charges on the fish pond. So 14 remaining, meaning that we will get like 60 fish after it's done. I do believe that we should build the herbalist camp here, because along with herbs themselves, we will get access to some berries at a 20% chance per herb. Now we cannot deal with the root node large one. We would need to have this foragers camp available to us for this one. Yeah, these choices. So again, dye useless, wine useless, but ale useful. Then flour potentially useful if we get some way to produce some. What was it called? Wheat. Barrels also. Let's see what barrels needed actually. Okay, they needed either copper bars or crystallized dew and planks. Doable, and of course the packs of provisions. And from the last one, it's the jerky and incense that are interesting to us. What does the tea house give us? So tea, incense. Again, only jerky remains out of that choice. So I see the stonecutter camp needs to be moved on. Lovely. These stones, the big ones, will give us also roots at roots and insects at a nice rate. So let's have them over there. Yeah, so I think we'll take the provisioner and just hope for the wheat production to be one of the next choices for us. Oh, look at that. So we can either pick the small farm or plantation. Now we don't have anything to turn. Yeah, like what I'm interested in, I will probably take the small farm because we can choose between vegetables and grain, but we would need also like cook house in the long run to make some better food. Now, what season was it? Right now it's a drizzle season, so what I'm thinking about is it worth it trying to rush for the farm? Or both of the farms actually? I will put them down at least, so one of them will go here. And the other one will go... Let's see where it covers all the area. Okay, not the... I think we'll maybe run over one of the fertile farm fields, but probably we cannot grab them all anyway within a single season, the way it is in the default setting. So these farms, let's have them for both on vegetables for the time being. And what else I'm thinking about is that let's check the wood. Okay. The wood stockpile is dwindling. We're not burning them, but we're using them up because we just spent like all of our planks. So the new ones are going to be made to replace them. Okay, so now we are lacking some people. One way to battle this, now that I'm thinking about it, is that... Okay, first of all, these two humans will be freed up. But didn't we have... Okay, so 2 lizards are on the table if we claim the clan order. And I think we'll do it because, yeah, we need everybody on board right now. These 2 small farms will be feeding the whole crowd, basically, going forward. But for the time being, I'm not gonna assign the lizards anymore. I just want them to help out with the buildings, to help them build faster. See this single human that's free is just building some roads here. Yeah, and keep in mind we have the tea house here. So any kind of buildings that... Ooh, bakery. Isn't that like the perfect continuation to our production cycle? Does anybody care about cookies, biscuits? Well, both the humans and the beavers do like biscuits, and actually the pies are loved by both the humans and lizards, so this is the perfect building to go for next. Okay, so I took the bakery and let's place them as well, so we have the whole production chain. And in the meantime, we just have to survive basically until the next year when the wheat starts coming in. Yeah, I will even like, not to forget about the grain production. Let's change it up a bit. And regarding the production change. So it will be the farms going, making the wheat for the provisioners. We'll tweak it a little bit where the entrance is. A little bit awkward placement like that, but hopefully they can still move around here. And the last building that we need will be this bakery. Making some pies and biscuits. I'll put it next to the lumber mill. Okay, we're into the clearance season, so we did not get the chance to put any plants down, but it's okay. We'll do it next year. Small fishing hut is idle, which means it's done with the fish, and we have a bunch of food, as you can see. Hopefully enough to sustain us until next year when the cookies and biscuits and pies start coming in. But we do get some workers that are free to do stuff now, don't we? So, yeah, no beavers are additionally available to us, but let's just prepare the setup. So 2 humans will go here to this farm. Then 2 additional humans will go to the other farm. I know they won't do anything until then, on the beginning of the next storm when they will be plowing the plots. But let's leave them there, just not to forget about them. Now, there is no food production coming in at all at the moment. But we did build this herbalist before, so I see 2 lizards maybe are willing to do some herb gathering, which means that we will also be grabbing some berries on the side. And right now it's just all about making the planks and building the bakery and provisioner, and after they're ready, then we already have everything ready for the wheat to come in and give us some lovely snacks. The Forsaken Crypt is being torn down. 20 seconds remaining. Once it's done, there's 2 free lizards. Do we have work for them? Because restoring this one is going to be this haunted cellar is going to be a long process again. We don't want to do it before the storm passes. But if we are considering opening up another dangerous glade next year, then we'll probably go either with the one that's to the south of our base, or Lumberville, or the one that's to the bottom right corner of it. Although please do keep in mind that if we want to build another hearth, we need some distance from the main hearth. This reminds us. For the logistics to be efficient, probably for the small farms we'll build small warehouses next to them. Yeah, let's just build it like this, so there's very little distance to walk. How about this farm here? Like surrounded by all kinds of stuff. Could you woodcutters just do some woodcutting over here? Because I want to clear up this place, this area here. So the warehouse will not be relevant until we start gathering the crops, but you know, everything takes time to be built here. And also there's literally trees in front of where we want to build the warehouse actually. Okay, the storm is approaching. I can already hear it far in the distance. So we have a few seconds remaining. Let's take a look at the orders that we can pick. There's 2 new ones on the table. So first of all, needs for religion fulfilled would give us wheat production, chests of coal 40, and bundles of herbs 40 again. Or if we complete at least 2 events by making decision loyalty, then we would gain this perk of seized inheritance. The property of the deceased is seized for the... Wow, that's a tongue twister. The benefit of the whole settlement. Gain 20 random goods every time a villager leaves or dies. 5 parts and 3 villagers. Gifts for the queen, I see. Religion is possible and doable, so let's go for that one, as it would also help with our wheat production. Then basic rights to ale, I see, or leisure to be specific. or ruins, which means that we would have to rebuild or salvage 2 destroyed buildings, which is already doable on our current map. And additionally provide 12 packs of provisions, which would give us additional capacity for the glade events, along with 12 boxes of tools and a bunch of pottery. I think we'll go for the ruins this time. Yeah, because I'm not sure about the beer in this scenario. Not sure we will be going for it. I mean, okay, so the resolve is relatively low. What's the situation with our wood? So, okay, it's not good. I'm thinking we just stop the wood cutting process and see where we end up then. Also, we have a trader here, so what do they have in store for us? I think we'll get rid of the ancient tablets. That will provide us with a nice amount of amber. Do we want to buy any of these? I mean, we're not producing any porridge, and if I take a look at who would benefit from porridge, it's only the humans. Also, the herb production is not very high. I mean, we have 1 herbalist camp running, and the insect traps, no mushrooms are being produced at the moment as well. So one thought that we have, or option we have, is to consider just trading everything for amber and leaving it for future purchases, because don't really need food that badly right now. And we might get some other good things in the future instead of that. Now, the beavers will become rather unhappy. I will allow them to have access to these pickled goods again. Kind of teasing them every now and then. Hopefully this helps them enough to get through this specific storm. So you can see this warehouse down here went up already. Humans are doing their work on the grain fields, on both of the grain field sets. What's not been built yet is the bakery and the provisioner, but there's still time. I would like to remind you, what we can do is just have another beaver preparing the planks, which are kind of getting low on stock. You beavers are still not happy. Okay, let's just a second. So probably they are not happy that they do not get access to coats either. Are they gonna be better now? So it probably takes a while until the coats effect applies, but if anything, yeah, one thing we should do instead is probably just not preferring lizards for the time being instead. So everybody is happy enough to get through the storm this time. They just needed some pickled goods, right? And if my mathematics is correct, no more pickled goods, please. We just need to sprinkle in a little bit every storm just to make things work. Now, is anybody out of work? Yes, that is so. We have actually 7 builders at the moment. Well, we know we will get woodcutters back working, but it's too soon for provisioner. Yeah, let's do some prep work here. So 200 flour will be the limit that can be produced here. Please do not use anything but wheat for that. You can always make some barrels. There are some copper bars already, so let's limit this to, actually not that many. Let's do 100. And packs of provisions can be made out of... okay. I will pause since the new year began, but probably let's just make the packs of provisions out of herbs only. And let's limit it to like 21. Now we have some newcomers, but before that let's take a look at cornerstones, and we do get the good cornerstone in my opinion, which is the master blueprint. Now let's take a look at what we would gain from that. We would gain access to this large herb node. We would also gain access to, I believe, yeah, there was this large root node. The gathering will be slower for a while, but at least we'll be quite secured with the food. So yeah, this is the one we'll be going for. Now we can take a look at the newcomers that want to join our beautiful Lumberville. So we either pick 1 lizard and 4 humans, or 4 lizards and 1 human. What a choice. But I think these tools will be handy in the long run. So hello lizards with one human. Now let's get our wood cutting business going again. The beavers are all over the place, but there's again only like 5 beavers still in our settlement. So the other woodcutter settlement will be occupied by lizards, and I think we're happy with them trying to grab all these trees around here. Now it's too early to assign to the provisioner and a bakery anyone working yet because we don't have any flour yet. But this haunted cellar has been haunting us for a while, hasn't it? So maybe we'll just assign some lizards here. We have enough scrolls to deal with this, so let's cleanse it and get ready to produce some pickled goods. Now the fishing hut is a little bit on the way. How many? Okay, we have enough parts to make a forager's camp here. Looking a bit ahead. And this herbalist camp will be able to, well, we'll just move it around once it's done with the small nodes down there. Okay, so 3 people without homes still. Let's build another shelter. Okay, that should do it. Actually, let's future-proof it a little bit. So we built 3 shelters in total. And lizards are still happy from the pickled goods. Okay, so 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And keep in mind, every 45 seconds we will get -5 to global resolve. And we're already running into a bit of a pickle with the lizards. Well, we wouldn't be running into it if they had like full housing. Okay, so might have to play around a little bit with. Actually, we cannot play around. Yeah, the woodcutters might have to be removed again because it's a little bit too much time to deal with too high resolve otherwise. So beaver's resolve is low now because we went down 3 more resolve, I believe. So yeah, let's do this move. Let's stop favoring the lizards. Let's do some consumption control aspect. The pickled goods will be used again. At this point it's more like a control mechanism, isn't it? The orders are something that we haven't really worked on too much, but we do have a place where the packs of provisions are going to be made, so at least 2 of these orders depend on them. They will get there eventually. We're not in a rush with the impatience, especially because it's growing at such a low rate, and thanks to the human firekeeper here. Okay, now the lizard's resolve is low and we have like a little bit over a minute remaining. Just a topic of mathematics now, because if we get through enough seconds to not have, well, resolve negative for 1 minute and the extra few seconds, then we'll be able to just kind of survive it or not have to deal with it more. So you can see it's going towards -3, but it's still at +2, so it's not ticking down in terms of one of the lizards trying to escape, but it's still slightly intense. Okay, so -6. So 23 seconds remaining. Even if it starts counting or going red like it did with beavers and now with lizards, it will last too little time to make a difference. So in 10 seconds the resolve will start going up again. Which reminds me, I will remove the pickled goods from the menu again. So 2, 1, and let's see the resolve go up again. Hello, welcome back. Okay, so pause for a second. We really need to grab some wood before the next storm, because we'll be in a bit of a pickle in another sense if we don't have enough wood or things to burn in the hearth.